Alrighty, and we are going live today. You know, people are probably thinking, why are we live? Well, there's just been problem after problem, and so I figured, you know, instead of having these issues forever and just ignoring them, why not, you know, just go ahead and go live, right? Nothing wrong with going live and just doing it, you know, the old fashioned way. We're gonna do it the old fashioned way, and so basically, what we've got today here, Carl Jaw, of course, as you'll see, playing music already, trying to get me copyrighted. And see, I'll just let it play here. But as you can see, he says Shanghai street fashion. Shanghai street fashion. And you know, of course, he shows some pretty good looking girls, right? Let's be honest. You know, they're cool looking, right? These cool looking Shanghai street fashion girls. You know, some are kind of goofy looking too, but you know, right? I think what happens sometimes, they work so hard to find positives about China that it just doesn't hit the mark a lot of times. You know what I mean? They keep saying that Shanghai is like some global fashion capital now, that you know, China's style is setting the pace, you know. But let's be honest here. There's no such thing as Shanghai fashion, okay? It doesn't exist. It's not real. What you're seeing in these videos isn't some new wave of like Chinese companies with all their brand new creative stuff that's just so different. What you're seeing is Western clothing, okay? Like, they always want to say the West doesn't influence China. It's like, really, you're wearing our Western clothing, you know, and they always do that. They're like, the West is horrible. It's done nothing for China good, and it's like, but what you're looking at again is Western clothing. It's Paris, it's Milan, it's Los Angeles, it's Zara, it's, you know, H&M type stuff, you know, and apparently it's also like, you know, knockoff Balenciaga and, you know, that type of thing. I guess apparently, but it's one thing's for sure. It's definitely, you know, it's definitely not what they're telling you that it is. Of course, um, you know, Carl Jaw here. Love the guy. I love how his dumb content is. But here's the thing: it doesn't just stop. And here's kind of the point of the video. Really, it's not just about fashion. You know, it's China's done nothing new. Their most iconic fashion trends are, you know, cheap imitations of what's already popular in the West or Japan. You know, show me Chinese designers that have shaped global fashion. You know, that have changed things, and you can't, right? And these guys, Carl Jaw, they want you to believe that, right? Because it's not just fashion. I mean, look at music, right? You know, K-pop took over the world. J-pop has a strong niche of American. J-pop has a niche of followers, you know, but in America too, right? You know, I say that accidentally, but it is true, right? There are a lot of Americans that will listen to J-pop. You know, American hip hop dominates every corner, you know, of the internet, right? But Chinese music, it's like it's virtually non-existent outside of the borders of China. No one's blasting, you know, Chinese rap on Spotify. No one's requesting Mandarin ballads at the club. You know, no one's doing that. No one's talking about Chinese rock bands redefining the genre because China's cultural output is it's boring, it's sterile, it's censored, it's controlled, and you can't innovate when you're not even allowed to express yourself freely, right? That's the real problem that they don't want to talk about. And I mean, again, that's just movies. Think about movies too, right? They have a massive domestic film market. Think about that in China. It's just insane how large it is there. Okay, but how many Chinese movies actually break out globally without government mandated box office numbers? Right? Name that shook Hollywood, or there's no movie that we were just like, oh man, China just they really did a good job with that one. It hasn't happened, or there's no movie that really just affected people and left an impact, right? Uh, there is none. It doesn't exist. Their biggest hits are like CGI messes with state-sponsored messages that no one cares about. For gaming, the West and Japan built the modern industry. China's only contribution is mobile clones and pay-to-win garbage designed to trap players into endless, microtransactions. And even that being strangled now by the CCP's gaming restrictions, like if people don't know about it, like there's so much control in China over gaming and stuff actually now. You can't release a game in China without government approval of your storyline. Me as a foreigner, I tried to game online there and couldn't. I was actually really high ranked in their version of League of Legends, and I got kicked off multiple times. You're not allowed to live stream as a foreigner in China, unless apparently you're like Speed X or whatever his name is, and you've got some kind of like, whatever. But China loves to boast about being a superpower, right? But they offered nothing to the world in terms of artistic legacy. There's nothing in fashion, no film, no music, nothing in gaming, storytelling, philosophy, outside the like 1,000-year-old Confucius quotes that keep getting recycled and talked about. What China gives us is, factory, mass production, propaganda, and censorship. That's what it is. You want real culture, real innovation, real art, you have to look outside China, because those girls that you see on Carl Jaw's channel that are talking about Shanghai fashion, it's not really Shanghai fashion. It's Western fashion. They're not Chinese clothes. Chinese people have been wearing Western clothing for a long time now. They haven't created their own, and that's just the way it is. Okay, if you want that type of stuff, fashion, art, gaming, music, you have to look outside of China. Because even though I lived in China and listened to Chinese music, it's just not as good, right? It's why listen to Chinese rap music when you can listen to other rap music, right? Not just English. I'm not just saying English, okay? But inside, it's just a cold, controlled machine. CCP propaganda, wearing a Western hoodie and pretending to be trendy. So let's stop pretending here that Shanghai has, some fashion, that they're the next Paris, because it's not. It's just the discount aisle of global fashion, repacked for TikTok there. So, but yeah, that's all I wanted to do for today. Like I said, had some problems putting the video out, and figured I'd just do it live real quick, then kind of get that out. Back to the normal time tomorrow. Shouldn't be late. Should be out on time. And yeah, I got some exciting videos actually coming out in the future. Some more controversial ones. And then I think after the 30 for 30, probably going to do 2 videos a week, but they're going to be edited. So it's going to be better. It's going to be more exciting. I do, of course, appreciate everyone that always comments on every single video. You guys are the reason I came back. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe.